Hi, this is Scott. Welcome to video number 2 of my trip down to Rocky Glen ORV Park, Rockford, Illinois. I am still continuing to test some of my mods, enjoying the beautiful 80-degree day. Like I said, a little dry. You'll notice you'll still see some pretty good mud holes in the swampy sections, but pretty dry and dusty. A fair amount of riders in the park. Last time I snuck through the parking lot, it looked like a good 35 to 40 rigs hauling numerous motocross to ATV, UTV units. Plenty of people out there having fun today. Still kind of stoked about some of the modifications. The snorkel kit, not that I've swamped it today. Last time I was at this park, I did manage to swamp the machine, and was not a great day for me. I think I spent 3 hours just cleaning the mud out of the airbox and everything else, so it's not one of those things you want to do on a regular basis. At this point, I'm trying to get a good feeling of my unit, of my machine, that it's ready for this next upcoming weekend. Going down to Badlands Off-Road Park in Attica, Indiana. So just a just a brief run through on my machine. 2016 Polaris Ace. I've got a 2-inch forward clearance A-arms high lifter set up on the front. I went with the Racer Tech Pro heavy duty tie rod systems for it. Really nice add-on. I was really concerned with the high lifter that my tie rods were going to end up being too short. I did not feel comfortable with only having 4 threads into the tie rods, so that was kind of scary, so that had to go. Did upgrade to a 3/16 aluminum skid plate system underneath. It's a Super ATV 2-inch lift, so that I could squeeze the 30 by 10 by 14 Tusk Terabyte radial tires on there, on the STI red aluminum spoke rims. Put in the 2-inch 4-point seat harness on the unit. Really like to stay in the cage, so if accidents happen, which they do, you've got to be protected. Got the 3,500 pound winch on there with the devil's hair synthetic rope. Did the Super ATV suicide doors, which really make the unit look good. EMP hard coat windshield, which on this particular trip I don't have on there, just because I really hate cleaning mud off of that thing. And got the Polaris quick release hard roof that, if you listen close, you can hear it squeaking on the roll cage. Some of the rough sections, it makes a fair amount of noise. As you can see by these trails, right now, where I'm at, you get some pretty swampy sections, some deep water. That one hole that was about 4 feet deep that I talked about in the previous video, that one was the scariest one out of what I found here in the park. However, I am told there is one that's about 5 feet deep. Haven't quite located that one yet, though. I'll let you know when I do find it. Finishing my add-ons here. Waiting for a family. Cute kid riding on this ATV. I just had to stop and let everybody get through. marched right through the deepest part of the water. It was quite fun. You know, one of the things I added on the Polaris full coverage front bumper and everything, but one of the things you want on your rigs is a first aid kit and a really good fire extinguisher. I think that those are important pieces to have no matter where you go. And then, let's see here, finishing off, I've got the aluminum Sprague Super ATV kit for the front diff. The transmission gear reduction, I went with the same ratio as what's in the 325 transmissions. Some Rhino axles, and let's see, the High Lifter Extreme clutch kit. Also, again, that's something you really want if you don't want your engine RPMs being, robbed of that, not being able to get your engine RPMs to get the horsepower that you need. So anyway, getting back to the trail system. So what you saw there on your right was the main base for the park. I continued on a lot of these trails. I made several laps. It's not a super large park. It's in Rockford. I mean, it's inside of Highway 20 in Rockford. So you're still in city limits, and I was really surprised that they allocated this much land, that somebody was able to put aside this much land for creating this park. I'm going to take a few seconds here, actually a little bit. I stopped here to watch a motocross rider on the track that was off to my right. I really wish I would have had this on my head cam at the moment, so that you could have seen me turning my head and seeing that track. Some pretty good jumps on that track that's off to the right. I saw several at least 20-foot lifts. There was some good air time that was going on. I saw a couple of the two-wheel drive ATVs ripping through there on that track, which, if I'm not mistaken, any moment you're going to see them coming up into my view of the front camera on the front GoPro. Please excuse my inabilities here. I don't know for sure yet why, but it seems like some of my GoPro videos are coming up a little grainy. I thought I had everything set to the highest record values, but for some reason I still see some pixelation, so I've got to check on the camera on that one of these days. That gentleman there that just went by, he came in while I was sitting back at the camp there. Real nice bike, and even then, he had a breakdown while he was here. One of the pivot bearings on his monoshock rollers went kaput, and luckily it didn't tear anything up, but he did have to plan on putting some new bearings in there, and that maintenance is a hard thing on these units. It's important to try and grease your machine up and keep everything lubricated. Every time we're going through all this water and the mud and dirt, it does its fair share of toll on your equipment. So anyway, I started out again, took off to do that loop that I seem to be attracted to in this park. The terrain on here and the fact that I can actually open the machine up a little bit, I do prefer that. There are a lot of those trails, like you can see right in front of me there, through that heavily wooded areas that are pretty swampy, and I believe at some point I actually go through there on this video. It could very well be the next clip of this. I tried to keep these videos short enough that I could actually fit them up on YouTube without any problems. Please, if you have any ideas or thoughts or whatnot, or have any questions about these parks that I go to, please make comments below in the on the site, and I will try and see what I can do to make some improvements to future videos. If you couldn't tell already, I sure do like this stretch where I get to open it up a little bit. It's just so much fun to have the speed, but this was a fairly nice flat area, so getting a little speed isn't dangerous. At least, not too dangerous. Well, this video is about to come to a close. I appreciate you taking the time to watch. If you have any questions or want to make any comments, please leave them below. And if you like what you see, hit that like button. And this is the end of video 2. It looks like to me that I'll have video 3 posted momentarily. Thank you.